We are now going to be working with the basket underscore view.php, which you will find again inside of the MOD folder. This is the file which is basically creating a structure of the basket after an Ajax call, which is basically triggered by updating quantities by removing products from the main basket. First thing we're going to do is remove this require once function here, because what we're going to do is we convert this include file into the plugin. This is because if we open pages folder and open a basket.php, you can see the same basket, the same structure is basically displayed here. So there's not really much of a point having the same thing in two separate files. So what we're going to do is create the plugin out of the basket underscore view.php and then simply call this plugin here. In this case, if we make any changes to it, it's going to be reflected into places at the same time. So if we go back to our basket underscore view, first thing we're going to do is after the table repeat, a class assigned to our table tag, we're going to add br underscore bd, which is basically border bottom. In this case, the last row inside of a table obviously will also have the border bottom border before the buttons. So that's one thing. If we now scroll down, we can now remove this object basket VAT rate does not equal 0, because obviously we're not displaying VAT anymore here. So this condition first of all, then we remove the VAT and we also remove the total, because our basket will now only display subtotal for the items. The VAT, because it's going to be calculated based on the subtotal of the items plus the shipping, obviously that thing will only be displayed in the summary, on the summary page. Now another thing, after the closing table tag, we can cut this dividing line here, the div, and paste it after the form and remove the class brtd, because now we're going to have automatically the table tag obviously has this border bottom already assigned to it. So the only thing that we need to do here is basically create a space between the buttons and the bottom of the page. So now if we save this, if we now open the plugin folder, inside of this plugin folder, if we create a new folder called front, and if we move our, I'm just going to open this directory here and move our basket view to this front folder and go back to our basket.php, which you'll find again inside of the pages directory. What we're going to do is remove the entire content before the require ones and start with the action equals this object URL get action. And now we check if action equals view, then what we're going to do, echo plugin get front directory separator, and we have basket underscore view.php. Actually, we don't need PHP extension because obviously get method of the plugin class automatically appends it. Then else we proceed with our page. If we remove this if is an empty out, we only leave the div with the ID big basket, select the entire form and remove it. If we hit delete, then we only have this basket here. Then else statement is also not needed. And after require once, if we create a new line here, indent and close this else statement. Inside of the big basket, if we copy this echo front basket view plugin, simply opening PHP tag, paste this and closing PHP tag. One last thing, now if we open JS folder and basket.js file, refresh big basket method, what we need to do is call a different URL because we no longer calling the MOD basket underscore view.php. Now we have a plugin, basket action view. This is where we actually created inside of the basket, obviously this view case here for the action. So if we now save the file and if we preview it in a browser, make sure that you clear cache in your browser first. And if we add a few items to the basket, view basket, and now if we try to update quantities 10, as you can see, quantities and the price obviously here has updated, as well as in the left column, let's say 17, same situation. So it's all seemed to be working fine.